Hey YouTube, I'm Snowpoke. I love Rainmaker, but if you're like me, you've probably wondered, how does the Rainmaker even work? What effect does run speed up have? What effect does bomb defense up have? And how does it even work as a weapon? It feels so random sometimes. First, I wanted to take a look at what the Rainmaker does to your running speed, and what kind of effect run speed up has on it. So here's a comparison of running with and without the Rainmaker, where on the right side you can see what it looks like with 3 pures of run speed up. And here's a slow-mo of the same thing, so you can take a closer look at the difference. Also, if you were to set the standard running duration of a medium-weight weapon as 100%, we would get 123% for the running duration with a Rainmaker, while with run speed up, you can get it down all the way down to 84%. By the way, for a more realistic loadout, you can get the Rainmaker running speed pretty close to your normal running speed by using 1 pure of run speed up. And here's what that looks like. What I've always been the most confused about though is, how does the Rainmaker work as a weapon? What kinds of hitboxes does it have? And how much damage does it inflict? There are 4 kinds of attacks that I could find. The indirect explosion, the tap shot, the direct, and the exploder woomy. Before we get into numbers and stuff, let's take a look at the hitboxes of indirect explosions, which is probably the most common type of damage that you will endure in battle. First, let's take a look at a slow-mo of the explosion. While standing still, what seems to be determining what kind of damage you take is where you stand in relation to this big explosion indicator. If you're touching this indicator, you will take indirect damage, while being mostly inside of the indicator will cause you to be splattered once the explosion happens. We can also see that there's a delay between the explosion and when you actually take damage. That begs the question, how does this work when you're moving? When is it decided how much damage you're taking? I always used to think that the longer you are inside of the explosion, the more damage you will take once the shot actually explodes. But that's wrong. Let's take a look at 2 attempts of me running out of the explosion to see what is actually happening. As you can see, even though they look nearly the same, in one of the attempts I take damage, and in the other one I don't. Again, let's take a look at the slow motion. After a lot of frame comparison, what seems to be making the difference is this frame. What matters is where you stand at the moment, this white flare starts appearing. If you touch the indicator at the moment this flare appears, you will take indirect damage. If you don't, you're safe. And if you're mostly submerged by it, it's time to respawn. I did play around with different distances to the explosion by the way, and with different run speeds to confirm these results. Next, let's take a look at damage values. As you might know, the game doesn't tell you directly how much damage you have, so I'm gonna use a little workaround. If we know how quickly you replenish your health, then we can use that to reverse engineer how much damage we had originally. Let's start with that. And what we do know already is that after getting hit, you need to wait 1 second to even start healing. Also to be safe, let's take a look at 2 different damage values, 85 damage and 99.9 damage. So here we go. With some mathemagic, the result is that after a second, you replenish 1 HP every 5 frames, or 12 HP every second. Please keep in mind that this is in standing mode though. If you were to dive into your own ink, you would recover way faster. I should look into that in another video, shouldn't I? Oh, by the way, if you don't want to miss out on future videos, well, click that subscribe button, hit the bell, and yeah. Is this a good time to slip on my channel? I'm kinda new to this. But now all we gotta do is go through the different attack types. First, here's the indirect explosion. Healing down takes 4.32 seconds, which implies a damage of 39.8 HP. Keep in mind that these are estimates though, so it makes sense to try this out multiple times, and then round to the next value that makes sense. After multiple attempts, I can confidently say that the indirect explosion does 40 HP of damage. Next, how about the tap shot? This one is actually a little bit more complicated. The longer you've charged the Rainmaker, the stronger it is going to be. Let's take a look at two examples. Here we have 73.8 HP of damage and 30.6 HP respectively. It seems to me that depending on how much you've charged the Rainmaker, you're going to inflict 30 to 40 HP of damage. Finally, here's the analysis of the direct shot. After managing to run out of the explosion radius in time, we take 6.05 seconds to heal ourselves, which translates to 60.6 HP of damage. The damage for direct hit seems to be 60 HP. And for the Exploder Woomy, well, it explodes the Woomy. Finally, I wanted to analyze what effect Bomb Defense Up has on the Rainmaker. And this is gonna be a short one, because it does, well, nothing. I compared it for all attack modes, but it didn't make a difference anywhere. Well, there we go. I guess I'll have to shave my all Bomb Defense Up outfit for now, but at least getting killed doesn't feel as random anymore. If you like this video, like and subscribe, maybe even leave a nice comment, and see you in the next one. Bye bye! Wait a second. Wait. It's a snowbug, I'm sorry.